Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's webinar from Allica Digital. It's myself and Stanley, and I've got Alex right with us. So morning, Alex.
Morning.
So Alex is from Yotpo, and he's going to do a presentation on customer retention. So we've got a couple of quizzes and things to share with you first. I'll just do a bit of housekeeping. So if you're new to the webinars, the Allica webinars, you're very welcome. This week's unusual because we've got a guest speaking rather than the Allica team. All of our webinars are recorded, and you can go onto the Allica website and see 5 years worth. It's unbelievable, isn't it, that we've been doing this since COVID started 5 years ago, and there's well over 300 because we've done one nearly every weekend. There's also the handouts. There's only a few slides today. This is going to be more like a podcast, to be honest, and the recordings will be available later on. We're going to start with the polls, and then when Alex shares his slides, we'll keep our cameras on. Yes, said X81. I remember. I actually did biology at university. I was just telling everybody it's my birthday this weekend, and it's a very scarily big one. In theory, I should have retired this weekend, but I can't see that happening for another 10 years. And as I said, I think AI will be my new career. Yeah, but I went to university and did biology, and I did computing science, and actually used we learned Fortran, which was the cards with their little index, and you stuck them in a big machine, which was the size of a house at Leicester University. So, yeah, a long journey. I guess the start of computing and AI, and evolving into AI now. Okay, so let's do the polls, and then I'll pass over to Alex. So I've got to do them in the right order. So let's start with the first one. So it should come up on your screen. You should be able to click an answer. So basically, are you an e-commerce website? Oh, I've not asked the right one. Can you just stop a minute? I did ask the wrong one first. Hold on. Let me put that back to the queue. Sorry about that. Start again. It's useful to do it in the right order this time in the morning. Okay. It was the right one. I do beg your pardon. Are you an e-commerce website? If so, what platform do you sell? Okay. No, we don't currently sell products. We sell products via other routes, e.g. retail or Amazon. Yes, we have an e-commerce site for selling to consumers B2B. Yes, we have an e-commerce site for selling to business. I think the confusion was I put nearly the same question in both ones. So we'll talk about the platforms in a minute. So at the moment, you've got about 50-60% that don't sell products at the moment. Yes, we sell products via Amazon or retail. 21% selling to consumers. I guess they're your sort of target market, aren't they? And then we've got an e-commerce site selling to businesses. So it's about a quarter, just under a quarter, selling to consumers, another 11%. But it's just about 65%. It's coming down, I think, as more people arrive, actually. The proportion that don't sell is actually dropping down a little bit. So at the moment, we've got about 40, 60 that are e-commerce and selling e-commerce, 35%. Yeah. Okay, I think that was meant to say B2C. That was rubbish. You can tell I did these quizzes last minute. Jess is on holiday today, so that blue question is meant to be we selling to consumers B2C. I do apologise. Okay, let's do the next one then. So the next one is, which platform do you use? So let's put that one out. It's usually a little bit smoother than this, Alex, you can tell.
No, it's great. I love it.
What e-commerce platform to use? Not applicable. So this will give us a good idea who aren't actually selling online. We're e-commerce, but I don't know the platform. We use Shopify, Magento, Adobe, BigCommerce. We use WooCommerce. If it's another one that I've not mentioned, if you could stick that in, I don't know the platform, because there will be others out there that I've not mentioned. There's hundreds, really. So, yeah, this is a little bit more useful because it's telling us more accurately what we're not e-commerce at the moment. So about 35% of you are not e-commerce. They are e-commerce that don't know the platform. About 16% use Shopify. That's interesting. 14, 15% use BigCommerce. WooCommerce is still the most popular at 20%. That's really interesting to know. So thank you for that, guys. I think that's quite helpful because I assume more people will be on Magento, particularly our old audience. But let's do the last one. Okay, so the last question is all about what your priorities are for the rest of the year. Okay, now this could be even if you're selling services. So I'm still interested to hear your response. So what are your priorities for the next 12 months? So not applicable. This could be that you're not actually in business at the moment, but I think even if you're selling a service, I'd like to know what your priorities are. Increasing revenue, reducing costs and increasing profit, new customer acquisition, increasing brand reputation, increasing average order value, increasing retention of existing customers, and increasing loyalty and recommendations. Using AI and automation to do all of the above. You can see you sneak that question in. So we've just got a few respondents, so we'll wait for a few more. So if you feel that you still can answer this, even if you aren't doing e-commerce, please do answer. So just wait for a few more answers of this one because I think this is a really interesting one. So increase in revenue, sort of 20%, increase in profit, only 6%. I mean, I guess you don't have to reduce costs, but the cost of advertising, cost of energy, cost of everything, logistics, national insurance, everything's gone up. Yeah. So I'm surprised that isn't higher. I do understand for a lot of people, I mean, it's the same for us. If we can increase our revenue, that is brilliant because then our fixed costs go down. Yeah. New customer acquisition.
Any of the customers that are on the webinar have been affected by the tariffs as well. If they're doing anything in the US.
Yes, of course, that's going to be a big thing, and just general global uncertainty as well. And I think the right-wing press have been really slagging our economy, and yet some e-commerce sectors have absolutely had a boom in the last quarter, and e-commerce is sort of 70% of our retail sales. I think it might even be higher than that now. And so consequently, garden furniture guys have absolutely smashed it out of the park, sort of 300% increase year on year because it was such a rubbish spring last year. So, quite a few of our clients have been doing really, really well. So let's have a look at the overall results then. We've got just over 20 responses. So not 20% increase in revenue, only 5% around reducing costs. I guess both of those can help profit. New customer acquisition, 33%, increasing brand reputation, increasing average order, not really mentioned, retention, 20%, 18%. We can rerun this at the end and see if that changes. Increasing loyalty and recommendations and use of AI and all of that. Nobody's clicked AI. I can't believe that. You need to watch some of my other presentations. So let's share your slides then, Alex, and make sure that's working. Share your screen rather, and then let's see if that's working. Okay. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat.
Can everyone see that?
No, not yet. No. Yes, you can now. Brilliant.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a little bit too much trying to do everything all at once for the poll. So it wasn't slightly organised.
Well, hopefully we get more responses by the end, so that'd be good.
Yeah, and obviously we really like to hear your comments as we go through. So hopefully you can all see. I'm going to maximize my screen. If you want to do that, there's two little arrows top right. If you do the same, Because Alex is showing his screen, he won't be able to see the questions. So what we'll do is I will see if there's anything interesting comes up at the chat. I'll keep my mic on, and we can see how we got on and what everybody's got to say. But you've just got a few slides just to introduce yourself and Yotpo, haven't you?
I don't want to bore people with slides. I want this to be interactive and a bit more engaging. So I'll just take you through obviously I'll introduce myself first, but I'll take you through who we are, because some of you might not know who we are and what we do. I'll go through, I think Anne's got some questions around some sort of strategies around loyalty and how that can be best placed. And then I'll take you through some sort of case studies of where our customers have seen some great results and what the challenges and solutions look like. And then I'll take you through some really cool loyalty programs that some of our merchants have deployed, and sort of thinking outside the box with regards to loyalty on that side, if that works for you guys. But yeah, so I'm really happy to be here on the webinar. Love to see Anne again and work with the guys at Annika. But I'm one of the partnership managers at Yotpo. So I'm responsible for the agency ecosystem. So I've got lots of great partners that have deployed lots of great solutions for our customers. So yeah, really excited to be here. So I'm going to take you through a few slides. So I don't know, has anyone worked with Yotpo, heard about them, know what we do? Again, I can't see the chat on that, but basically, does anyone know what it stands for? Because I love the
I have no idea what it stands for, and at the moment we don't have anybody saying anything. We can also do a bit of competitor research as well. So you explain what Yotpo is, and then then you can throw some names in and see if anybody's used any other other products.
It stands for your opinion, the people's opinion. So where we started out was with reviews in 2011. So our founder, Toma, basically had a really bad experience buying cameras online for his holiday, and basically got misled and bought the wrong camera, and it ruined his holiday, basically. So he was like, well, this must be a problem across lots of customers and brands. So he worked with his co-founder, who was more of an engineer, to create basically a reviews solution. And we were one of the first apps on the Shopify store back in 2011. Since then, we've grown from strength to strength. We've raised an incredible amount of money as they've gone along, and added some great other solutions to the platform. So they launched Visual UGC in 2016, and we were probably one of the first people to launch AI Insights, so creating the data around what we're collating. And then, because we were doing so well and we were sort of leading in the review space, we wanted to sort of really grow, and we saw the whole consolidation piece come into effect. So we acquired a loyalty company called Swell and integrated into the platform. And then
Can you repeat the name of the loyalty? Swell, SWELL.
Correct, yeah.
What's the full URL?
Pardon, sorry?
What's the domain website address?
I'll have to dig it out. I can't.
I'll get it while we're talking.
It may not be online anymore. There might be some news articles about it.
Oh, okay, no problem. So Swell was absorbed then, was it?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and then we acquired. Then we went into more usage products, because basically we noticed from our customers they wanted everything in one place, because actually the comms products work really well across reviews and loyalty, with obviously engaging people with collating reviews, reminding people on their points or how to get involved in loyalty schemes and stuff like that. So we acquired SMS Bump, and then email was a new solution we started creating in 2022, went to market quite heavily in the US, got some great clients, and now we're sort of really pushing it this year. So we're a retention platform. So it's all around retaining your customers, understanding their behaviors, and actually how to get more out of them.
So do you compete with Klaviyo then?
So yeah, that's my next point. So we then recently, 3 weeks ago, acquired an AI company called Coo AI. And that was more to get their developers, because the goal now is to be more of a CDP and compete with the likes of Klaviyo and other CDP companies.
So you need to explain what a CDP is, because nobody's...
a data platform. So having all your data in one place instead of all in different areas, and very hard to track what actually is the true source. But one of the most notable things in our journey was when Shopify invested in us in 2021. and we were one of 4 companies globally that they did that investment with. And that was where they're going more into the enterprise space, and they don't really want to build their own tech. So they basically get a foot in the door with other companies that are more enterprise level. So they picked us for like the MarTech, Comtech side. But we've got about 35,000 clients, 1,200 employees globally. We cover pretty much the globe now. And yeah, it's going from strength to strength, and yeah, really got some really great clients. And just quickly on sort of the integrations, we integrate with mostly everyone. And we've got some really great sort of integrations with people like Recharge, for example, for the subscriptions. And again, it links really well into like what we're doing with loyalty and reviews, and all the other sort of ones you would expect in there as well. And yeah, so the main products, if you ignore subscriptions, because we used to have subscriptions, but we sunsetted that this year because it basically isn't our forte, and we want to focus on actually what we're strong at. We've got a very strategic alliance with Recharge, so we work very closely with those guys. But we've got reviews where we started, which then we've launched like visual UGC, then I've mentioned loyalty, and then the SMS and email side. So SMS, the main things what we focus on is we help people grow their lists faster. We've got AI tools again to help optimize subscriber capture. You can segment better, smarter, and engage. We've got like 180 data points that we're able to segment customers. And again, you don't have to duplicate onto email. Once you create the segment, it's applicable across the email and SMS if you're using our products on that side. Again, with email, we can grow the audience faster. We've got really hyper next level personalization. So again, we've got AI that does recommendation on real-time shopping behavior, but also, again, the synergy between the other products, like being able to create reviews within the email and giving people like AI prompts to like cover all the basis of like product, customer service, shipping. It helps people. Again, you can reward people for leaving reviews or subscribing to emails and SMS and stuff like that, which is really cool. And again, it's all in one platform, so it all works really well together. Deliverability is really good on our SMS and email. You know, we've got ex-Klaviyo people in the business now. We've got the head of delivery and we've got the head of partnerships. So they know how to obviously take those products to market. And loyalty and stuff, I'll dive into obviously that in a bit more detail on some sort of use cases. But the review stuff, I know it's not the most exciting subject, but reviews is really great for, I know on your poll, and they were talking about like sort of brand reputation. It's a really great way to sort of engage with your community and, you know, prove that you're making the service, the product's better as well. It's really good insights. Again, we've got an AI tool that helps sort of benchmark you against the market, that's similar brands and stuff like that. Again, turning reviews into purchases as well, maximizing channels with syndications, like we can do across TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So yeah. And then
reviews is a really is a really important one, because it's very, very difficult to sell on a product, or actually unless you've developed enough reviews that people trust you. Yeah. And then actually managing the sentiment and the comments is a real ball ache as well. So I think reviews management in its own right is a topic in its own. Some of the questions that are coming up are around SMS and WhatsApp, and disliking it and how it works. So we'll definitely talk about that when you've finished your slides, because I think there's quite a broader discussion, because we're using WhatsApp automation on our site, and when I speak and everything as well now. So it's definitely something that you need to be aware of.
Definitely. And I've got a very exciting development on WhatsApp as well that I can share.
Brilliant.
Remind me, because I might forget.
And Susanna's just also mentioned about how some of these things are influenced by country. So, for example, if you go to the Middle East and Africa, they don't use email at all. They just missed email out and went just straight to WhatsApp. Yeah. Which we've learned in our Saudi AE client that just wants to communicate by WhatsApp all the time, and it's really difficult, because the level of customer service and the attention that you have to give compared with a more formal process, it's very interesting. And then also we've been doing some stuff on voice agents and things as well, which ties nicely into this subject. So, but I want to get Alex, this is Alex's floor, so let Alex finish this and do some demos, and then we can have a general chat.
Well, we can have another session on reviews and comms if you want.
Yeah, a later stage, because particularly once we're in a position to launch our voice agent, because I think that will really be of interest to people. But you keep going.
No, don't worry. And then this is just my last slide. So this is just a snapshot of the sort of brands we work with, just so you can see. So obviously we've got lots of great enterprise brands. We've got lots of great small SMB, medium-sized brands as well. So the solution is very catered to wherever you are in the journey, and there's really great different plans and all that sort of stuff. And we really pride ourselves on our support as well, and especially on our comms products, where I don't know if any of your customers use Klaviyo.
Yeah, a few.
They're folks.
We're actually a Klaviyo partner, but we've not really recommended them. And obviously, if we become partners, we'll focus on that side.
Yeah, but there's a few things they've done where they increased their price this year. They've sort of removed their support on certain value customers, and a lot of people are very upset about that. And we're trying to gauge that market and capture it. So, but however, SMS and email is only really for Shopify at the moment. But reviews and loyalty, reviews you can use across any platform. I'm just being very transparent with how we work. And then loyalty you can use across any platforms, but there's a minimum commit, but you can rope in reviews like regards to like contract size. But again, we're flexible if it's the right fit for us as a business. But we had our CEO over this week, and there is a direction to work a bit more agnostic again across platforms. So we're looking at sort of really opening up the API so we can start going more into the enterprise space and then cater for all sorts of brands. But that will come later down the line. So I thought I'd just mention that. Okay.
So do you want to go in and do some little demonstrations by carry on sharing your screen? I think that would be a great way to show people.
Yeah.
So I think I need to share your screen again.
Do you want to talk through some of the points on the?
No, I'd rather you do a little bit more and have a general discussion, because otherwise what will happen is we'll run out of time this time will go really quickly.
All right, so I'll go through some case studies. And again, please guys stop me and ask me questions if something doesn't make sense. So I'll speak about Naked Harvest. You might not know, it's one of our Australian clients. So they basically focus on like wellness that aims to revolutionize the standard of active supplements in the market. So like pre-workout to beauty, wellness supplements, and they're devoted to creating clean products they like educating their customers on health and wellness. It's all around that sort of lovely category. The problem they had with how they were sort of understanding their customers, they didn't have a single view of the customer journey. So it really had an impact on the marketing campaigns. And we were trying to grow the acquisition without relying on giving away discounts, which I think a lot of brands fall into that trap. Like, trying to create loyalty isn't around discounting necessarily. It's about creating that engagement, that community, that experience that I want to be part of that hub, basically. And they were paying for too many e-commerce solutions that didn't work together seamlessly, and it created a lot of manual work for the team, basically. So what we helped them with was setting up a well-designed and authentic rewards program to keep loyal customers happy while the brand doubled down on acquisition strategy. Again, outside of loyalty, they wanted to collate more reviews across the board to improve on-site conversion. So, for example, they rewarded heavily for like following on socials, leaving reviews, adding a photo, all that sort of stuff. And they wanted to easily set up multi-steps, automated email and SMS campaigns within the same experience, again, reducing manual work and involved.
And what were they doing for that? Were they using like sort of HubSpot, Go High Level? Because e-commerce platforms aren't designed to do that side of marketing at all. Or have you got those workflows within your package now?
Right. So they use our SMS and email as well as loyalty and reviews. So it works all seamlessly in the back end. So again, they're based.
Sorry, just to explain what I'm talking about, because people might not understand
Yeah,
what I mean. So if you can imagine that you've ordered a product, and the first thing that happens is you get an email saying something like, thank you for ordering your product. And then you might get a notification 24 hours later saying, here's the tracking URL. It's been picked now. You can go and track your, or it could be
yeah,
an hour later. And then you might get another email that will say, would you like to give us a review? And I think you even embed that in there. There might be an SMS to say, or your package is being delivered in the next 2 hours. And all of that stuff is automated. And the way that it's often done is building visual workflows where if something happens, that triggers another thing. So is that the same for you as well?
absolutely. So
Yeah.
we've
So
got
that's
out-
sorry, Alex. So that's what things like HubSpot and we use Go High Level and all those platforms do. And it's interesting to see that's now migrated into platforms like this. So
absolutely.
carry on.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. So we've got, because again, we've done this for lots of different brands. We know all the different flows that work. So they're already set up. You just need to basically click and activate them. So again, like post-purchase, asking for a review or asking them to, how was it, how was the product? Are you happy with the brand? Do you want to refer a friend, get discounts or whatever it is? Like you can create all these different flows, use the ones that are out the box that we've already created. And actually, again, leaning back on the support, our customer success managers will basically be looking at the back end and giving them recommendations of how to improve certain areas that are underperforming as well. Again, we've got lots of great data and analytics that you can pull from your customers as well to make that easier and more engaging and convert and sell more, etc.
So Suzanne's asked, she's obviously involved in this area because she's asked some really good questions. She said, does this product interface with CMS so clients can use it directly, almost like an admin area? I slightly misread it, but I don't know whether you mean the clients of your product or the end clients. But it does integrate. It has like a mini CRM, but it does integrate directly into Shopify for these other platforms.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can go into our platform and manage it all in there. And again, it's pulling all your data from Shopify as well.
Okay, so it's got like a mini CRM system behind the scenes.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And that would allow, that's tracking the number of points, I assume, that they get as well, is it?
Correct, yeah. So there's lots. Again, there's like the retention dashboard within our platform. So again, you can see from obviously loyalty is an investment. Again, loyalty, you have to. It's not like something you just set up and it starts making you money. You've got to incorporate in your marketing plan. It has to be top of mind. It has to be easy to find on site, and you've got to remind people. So we've got flows. We've got this really cool like email tool where you can basically, depending on the customer, you can set it up once, and depending on the customer, if they're not a member, they're a certain tier, they're a high performer, they'll see a different email with their points, their tier, and their sort of level of engagement as well. So again, you're creating that personalized approach, really showing the love to the customer depending on obviously where they are regards to
and something like that allows you to create custom audiences which you can then target through things like Facebook and stuff like that. Or have you already built integrations into things like Facebook in order to allow those audience, those high value customers, or even customers that might be in danger of defecting, so that you can not only send emails and SMS, but you could then feed that into a Facebook campaign?
That would link back into their Shopify store.
Okay.
They wouldn't be something. I'll have to take that one away. Actually, I'm not sure. I know we've got we've got an integration with TikTok on the reviews, so we can obviously reviews and stuff. I'll take that one away if that's okay.
Yeah, no, brilliant. So what you're doing by doing this point system is you're discouraging people to use discounting as a form of loyalty, and you're trying to encourage other sites of user behavior, rewarding them for what you want them to do, really.
Absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll go through lots of different strategies, and depending on what they wanted to achieve, basically. So there's always two ways, and sometimes you could put them as the same way. So it's either drive-in conversion, which there is an element of discount, like the points are worth something, or where we've got more luxury brands, obviously they don't want a discount, so they're creating more of an experience and an exclusive club. So again, it depends on the strategy, which again, we would help the brand depending on what they want, whatever that end goal is. from that point of view. But I think you'll get the clearer picture once I take you through all the different examples. But this brand particularly, with using obviously our solution and our analytics, they increase productivity from switching to a unified sort of commerce platform. And it was very intuitive and easy to use. So it meant they could obviously do more good things and great things together. But they managed to increase the average order value by 50% to top tier loyalty members.
50?
50, yeah. That's quite norm, to be fair. 11.5% return on investment from loyalty, which doubled the benchmark, which is great for them. And then again, this was more on the email side, but a 60% saving on our email tool compared to Klaviyo, which is quite a good.
Somebody's just asked about fees. So could you give us some indication of how? As I'm only asking you now because somebody's asked it now, and you've mentioned being cheaper than Klaviyo. What's sort of the entry level for some of the elements of package? Because I know you've got almost like 2 tiers, haven't you? You've got some of the packages like the reviews is pretty much universally available and is very cheap, and then some bits are a little bit more enterprise.
Yeah. So it's SaaS. So we've got SaaS, which is reviews, loyalty, and then usage. So the SaaS is based on number of orders for the business. So we base it on that.
So what's the lowest tier?
It's whatever. I can't remember what our pro plans are. So there's an entry one, which is like a monthly. It's visible on our
website. I'll put a link in the chat.
And then if they're doing something like over 3,000 orders a month, then it's custom pricing. But it is pretty competitive. And then on SMS email, it's usage. So it's based on number of sends, whereas our competitors are based on a commit. So you have to commit to a certain amount. And also it's based on your subscriber list.
Right.
So that's where we don't like to leave with price. We like to leave with value. But again, that's what.
So it looks like the starting price is around $80 up to 500 orders per month. So
but they won't get the support element because they're self-service plans. It's when they're on like premium and pro, they get more support. But it was worth noting that due to their saving, they were able to invest in other areas of their business on the email tool as well. So that's quite a
I mean, some of these other products are $1,000 a month, aren't they?
Yeah, and also on our analytics tool, we don't charge extra for that. That's built within the SaaS fee. Again, our competitors charge for that. So it's an extra fee on top, which is crazy because how do you know what to do with the solution unless you've got data behind it?
So why don't you show a few more examples how it's used in different places? And
yeah, perfect. So again, I've got another one here. So CSB, so they were on a mission to provide women globally a unique, comfortable, confidence-inducing athleisure. So it came to life about 2019. Founder Rachel Dillon recognized they needed something else to elevate a stylish in the activewear market. They pride themselves on the obsession with quality, fit, and functionality, and every collection is designed to help girls feel and train and look their best, basically. Just in case no one knew who that brand was. Challenges, they had a very clunky UX. It was hard for them to reward members, to navigate the program, find and redeem rewards, especially on mobile where 8% of their customers shop. So they had limitations with their analytics, with their previous solution. They weren't able to measure the value of their reward programs and easy or rely on the data to inform and improve the loyalty-led retention strategy. Also, another challenge was gaining insights and engagement levels of members in different tiers, their purchase frequency and the customer lifetime value required, spending hours buried in like loads of different spreadsheets. So they had lots of issues. And they had lack of strategy input from their previous provider and radio silence on support requests. So that's quite a common theme with other providers is the support is just shocking. So we really, again, being a retention platform, we have to retain customers. So support is obviously very important. But the solution we provided them was, again, a platform analytics to make their smart decisions about better engaging customers, saving team time and resource. Improving on-site reviews experience, again, linking into the reviews to let customers find in-depth details on the fit, quality and support of various styles. Again, we might have to do a reviews session because there's lots of cool things we're doing on reviews, to be fair. Ability to send out dynamic SMS campaigns that automatically pulling loyalty information for each customer, including tier details, points, and any redeem rewards that apply. So again, that was a point I made earlier around personalizing the comms to customers. reducing friction on reward members and making it easy to find and earn and redeem loyalty points in order to improve engagement with program retention as results. So again, making sure it's easy to find, you're communicating it regularly and relevantly as well. And working with a team that keeps communication lines open and offer ongoing support unlike before.
So it might be worth showing. I don't know whether you've got a demo platform where you can show, because you've got things like you can do social posts from the loyalty, and also some people do loyalty with experiences rather than just products, don't they? So
yeah, I can show all that. So what I'll do is I'll show you,
because we've only got 20 minutes left, so it's zooming through really quickly.
All right, fine. All right. So again, this one's really cool. I just wanted to show you. So this was really customized by the agency. So again, we've got out the box what we call widgets, where you can basically just do drag and drop and create the program. Or if you've got a really great agency, they could do something really unique. So they've got different levels, and then again, different rewards depending on how much you spend. And then they've got a locked tier, which no one knows what the benefits are. So it's like an aspirational, I want to find out what's behind the closed door, basically. So that was quite cool. And then again, they reward for, reviews, downloading the app, what they call punch cards. So buying different products. Oh, no, that's not a punch card. Sorry. So if you buy 3, and every third order, you get different points. So again, encouraging repeat purchases. Again, trying to grow their social channels. Again, subscribing to newsletters, reviewing videos, blah, 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 different ones. Again, I'll just skip through some just to show you like the key elements, because they're all based on the same the sort of mechanics. But this one was really cool because what Sneak want to do is they're quite big in the gaming area. So they do one where if you can redeem, like if you get to 10,000 points, you get the ultimate prize of enjoying a 15-minute Zoom call with the creative or product teams. So that's quite cool. So that's like a raffle sort of style.
So thing. One of the questions is coming up about the fact that do clients do loyalty when they don't offer discounts as rewards? I think that's absolutely what we're saying, isn't it? Some of them have got experience, visits, free product. You don't just have to offer a 10% discount. That's the whole point. You've got almost like you've got various different ways of collecting points and then various different ways of spending the points.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm going to touch on those. I just want to show you one more of a brand. Do you know this brand, guys? That's their hero product, the Bum Bum Cream.
Oh yeah, the Bum Bum Cream. Yes, we'd heard of the Bum Bum Cream.
Again, they've got different tiers, different rewards, blah, blah, blah. But what they wanted to do was sell more cross-category because they were struggling to get people into their new product launches. So what they do is they reward heavily for making 3 different purchases, 5 different purchases, signing up to subscriptions as well to keep that.
So this is the concept of rewarding the behavior you want.
Yeah.
So if you want people to try a different product in a different category, then you're going to give more points to it, because the view is that once they try it, they're going to love it and they're going to recommend it and then they're going to buy it again. Correct.
Yeah. And I'll do one more quick example of another customer. So bed linen, again, you're not going to buy it, probably once or twice a year, or even less than that.
Once every 10 years.
Probably. So they're not going to be driving repeat purchase, right? But they struggle to get reviews. So they reward people heavily for doing reviews, for example.
And this Imad's asking something similar. How do you help loyalty products in luxury market without tarnishing the brand? I mean, that's exactly what we were talking about with this, restaurant visits and all sorts of things.
Correct, yeah. And I've got some more luxury ones. So Percival. So again, it's not about discounts, but it's about like exclusivity. So access to new product launches, events. They also in a pub, so you get free beer. Again, being creative, creating that engagement and community. Really great way to do it. I've got another one, Strathberry as well. Again, they don't want to discount heavily, so they give birthday treats. And in different tiers, like free monogramming, VIP access to sample sales. So again, closed as well, which is quite cool. Private sales, early preview on new launches. That's another really great one. Again, really great partner program.
So could you just grab a couple of URLs and stick them in the chat? So this one would be a good example. I quite like the last one as well.
What's that one? Personal. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm not so worried about the fact it's luxury. I think it's just the concept. It doesn't matter if you're selling something at 50 quid or 500 quid. It's just the concept of not only using the points for discounts, but other ways of giving value back to the customers and basically building a community.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this one's really cool. So yeah, they do, it's for driving more conversion. So, you know, 10 points is £1, but they've linked to like Strava. So if you join their Strava club, you get 200 points. Again, they're really trying to promote socials, like get people more engaged.
There was one that had the aspirational level 4. Agata's asking about that one. I think that was the locked down level.
Yeah, this was, that was this one. So again, lots of our brands do this. I'm going to show you another example. This one you're talking about, right?
I think so. It was the one where you said it had got locked. Yeah, level 4 lockdown. Somebody's also asking about loyalty within the customer within service industry. So memberships and things like that. That's a really interesting concept, isn't it? Because I mean, I was thinking about ourselves. You know, we've got a lot of people that come to all our webinars. I've got a list of people, and some people have registered for over 100 registers webinars and attended sort of 50 or so over the last 3 years. Yeah. And then you've got other people like when we're doing our academy, we only get paid if people do their 60 hours. So you could almost sort of say every week you earn points, and then for attending live, and then at the end, if you actually attend the full thing, we'll give you a prize.
Yeah, I don't think we do anything in hospitality at the moment. I think it might be. It depends on what tech they're using, because it's all around how open the API is and how easy it is to. Yeah. If it's POS, it's quite
point of sale.
Yeah, point of sale. It's quite hard to do it. Like we've got, just being transparent again, we've got Shopify POS works well. So you can load up the customers' points and their tiers and stuff. We're about to have an integration go live with Patchworks, which is an iPaaS, which helps with those difficult integrations. But again, that's quite early stage. So I don't want to talk too much about that. But again, where we're going more upmarket and there's more complicated integrations, we're looking at solutions to be able to make this as easy and streamlined as possible. But I can't comment on it too much at the moment.
Imid, who's, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so sorry if I've got that wrong, he's asking quite, there's a few people that are really highly engaged asking lots of questions, which is great. Which one generally works better, exclusivity or pricing discounts?
Okay, can we save questions to the end, because I'm going to do this, and then I've got one more example which is going to probably help answer that question, and then I can deep dive, because I just want to show one thing on this. So
that's nice.
So this one's nice. So again, they've got a completely hidden tier that's invite only. And it's like they tease it on their marketing. But basically, if you get into this tier, they invite you to their head office.
And is this and this Rookie Recruit Elite, is this based on the number of points that they've accrued they get to those levels?
Yeah, basically like how much they buy, and yeah, and it relates to the points basically. Okay. But the hidden tier, which I can't remember what it was called, but they get an invite to their bunker and get to play in the tank and all that sort of stuff. So again, linking experience as well, which is really cool.
So this is an experience sort of is it army sort of?
Yeah, well, this is Grenade, like, you know, the protein bars and stuff. So they.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
But they have like a really cool bunker and tank in their head office, which is quite cool. And then the last example is a bit of a raunchy one for the Friday morning, but I'm going to show it just because I really like the concept
really
of it.
Like the raunchiness, or
well, maybe. So again, maybe linking to that question, so this is very luxury, so it's not about discounts like per se, but one Fleur coin is £1. So again, you go through the different tiers, £1,500, you start getting extra benefits. Again, I'll put this in the chat if people want it.
But this lingerie is very expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, but they've got this Mile High Club. So if you spend £50,000, £50,000
of lingerie.
I don't know who's doing that. I'm still waiting to see who's actually in this tier. I haven't had an answer yet. But they'll fly you out to New York to sit with their design team, and then they will design an exclusive 3-piece lingerie set. So you'll get like an overnight stay, flights included.
Blimey.
That's insane. But that's just basically, it just shows you, you know, that the sky's the limit with your ideas, with the loyalty. We can do pretty much anything, which is quite exciting. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'll put that one in the chat anyway, if anyone wants that. I'm going to stop sharing and then I'm going to take questions. I'm sorry, I've literally ran through those, so I hope they all make sense.
No, it's good because we've got lots of time. I think we need to address the WhatsApp SMS messaging side of things, because it really overlaps with what we're doing as well at the moment. So I think it means I can add a little bit of value. So can you tell me, first of all, how Yotpo uses SMS and whether it's got a WhatsApp integration in order to stick out messages, and at what point your customers use it?
Yeah, okay, fine. So SMS, again, I think we touched on it earlier. It depends on which country it's more acceptable. So SMS, I think in the UK and some parts of Europe is very intrusive. So SMS is generally used for like delivery updates. Like engaging with customers on SMS doesn't work as well in the UK. Does in the US. They love it in the US.
I think it's changing in the UK.
Yeah, it probably
More
is.
on WhatsApp though, not SMS, because WhatsApp's more secure.
Yeah. So WhatsApp is, I don't know if anyone knows about conversational commerce, but that's come into Europe. So that's very big in Asia. So I don't know if people have heard of WeChat, which is their like version of WhatsApp, but it's also a super app. So it's not just Messenger. It's like their LinkedIn. It's like their Tinder. It's like
all their payment gateways and everything as well, isn't it?
You do payment into that as well. So a lot of people, like a lot of brands, are set up on WeChat and they're basically selling to customers curated catalogs and all that sort of stuff. WhatsApp Pay launched in Asia last year, or was it the year before? It's coming to Europe. So basically, brands will be able to have conversations with customers, and actually they're able to collate opt-ins via SMS for WhatsApp as well. So they can start engaging with customers.
Can I just add something else on that? So WhatsApp itself is a brilliant communication channel and can be set into automation flows. So for example, if you come onto our website and fill in a form, you'll get a WhatsApp message and we can start talking to you and provide links to products, and the product link will actually show the image, etc. Interestingly, in the UK, Meta doesn't offer ads in WhatsApp yet. But in America, and as I said, we've got a client in Dubai, that's pretty standard stuff. So I think it's interesting. The country-specific nature is definitely changing. And Suzanne's saying she's a lot seeing via the Meta Messenger. The other thing is that a lot of the WhatsApp integrations for using with other tools like Go High Level and possibly your own often needed an intermediary like Twilio, Wati, others are available. But now what's happening is that the WhatsApp integration is now available sort of the next level up. So I'm not sure whether Shopify's got a WhatsApp integration, but Go High Level, which is where we do all our automation, it has. So tell us a little bit more about how you're using SMS and WhatsApp and what you think that, give some use cases.
Yeah, I think Shopify does have an integration actually. So we're not actively using it at the moment. So it's quite a new thing for us this year. So we've got a company called Wax, which is WhatsApp as an experience. That's what it stands for. It's very creative. So we're basically going to market at the moment. So how they're based in Paris. They're a tech startup in Paris. They've only been going for 2 years. They've got around like 350 customers that they've managed to grow in the last couple of years, which is really exciting. But what we're seeing is basically brands interacting on that community level. So, engage with them. They're doing like quiz around trying to find the perfect products by prompting questions to try and then create a selection for them. They're also doing things where if you've this is really cool. So if you've abandoned cart, there is, I can't remember the company, but it's a company that works with one of the French rugby teams, and one of the French rugby players, they'll send a voice note saying it's in that you've left your product, are you going to buy it? So again, it's
yeah, well, that's what we're developing. So we're developing a voice agent to do customer service with a chat and a WhatsApp. But the other thing that you can do in the UK is you can do outbound calls. So if somebody does abandon the basket, you can actually absolutely create a bespoke outbound phone call saying, come back to your basket, you've forgotten it, do you want a discount or something like that. So that's where I think that will go. I think the inbound customer service is the better. So whereabouts in the flow do you use it then? Do you use it? So obviously you've got the the opportunity to send people product ideas through WhatsApp and maybe encourage them. But do you use it? And you've also got delivery. Do you use it anywhere else to encourage things like getting a review or joining a loyalty scheme?
Yeah, so we don't have any customers using it at the moment, but yes, you can use it to, like, we've got an integration with them, so they can use it to collect reviews, again, remind people on loyalty points. Again, I think Agatha's put a messaging around. She uses a VIP community to do access to deals, offer alerts, exclusives. You can do all of that with Yopo and this integration as well, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, you're right. Seed Grow offer WhatsApp integration, SB WhatsApp button, Exendon, Interact. So yeah, Chatty. So there's quite a few. They're coming up. Lots of them are coming up. So WhatsApp integrated into Shopify, sort of from around $20, $35, but some of them are even cheaper than that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How I've seen it in the market, the pricing it's a little bit more than SMS, but it's weird how it's set up. So a lot of them will do like a SaaS fee, so it'll be like a monthly payment, and then it will be like whatever it is, like cents or pennies per message. But what's really good is the message is open for 24 hours. So with SMS, you're paying every time you send. They've got a really good one where they've got different pillars depending on if it's, I need to remember, if it's utility, marketing, and customer service. They don't charge for customer service. So that whole like going back and forth and stuff. But like for marketing, like you can like obviously send photos, videos, but you've got the 24-hour period to send things, which is quite good. So you can engage with customers quite quickly and get answers and get them to do actions.
Yeah, I think it might be worth us just explaining a bit of that. So there's 3 levels of WhatsApp accounts. So you've got your personal one. You've then got, and you can set up groups and everything, even at the personal. You've then got WhatsApp for business, which gives you a little bit more control, and you can link it to certain numbers. So that's what we do for our client customer stuff. But then you've got the WhatsApp API, which is where you need the level that you need to do some of this automation to basically have it and things like the forms. And in order to get that, you've got to have an approved Meta account. Now they are starting to alter the conditions for setting up the WhatsApp messaging. So you can set WhatsApp in a flow, so in a workflow, which is what me and Alex are describing. But you can just communicate through that channel as well. But what Alex was just saying is you've got the sort of broadcast messages and the automated messages, and then you've got the live in communication messages. And basically, if you don't respond within 24 hours, you're not allowed to respond to them, but it gets resets if they then answer a question. So as long as that communication keeps going, you can keep that conversation going. So one of the reasons we were using Watty was it was quite a nice dashboard for managing those conversations. But what we do now is we set up alerts so that if a message does come through, we make sure we don't miss it. Because if you miss the 24 hours, so one of the things our team used to do is at lunchtime every day, they'd go in so that they'd pretty good chance that if anything came in overnight, they'd catch it, but it wasn't too late to help them.
Absolutely.
Suzanne's asking about regulations. They're not done at a global level, are they? So GDPR covers Europe.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really interesting because it's a very interesting question, because all these regulations, it doesn't matter where you're located, it's where you're doing business. So if you're doing business in Europe, you have to follow GDPR. If you're doing business in Saudi, for example, they've got their own regulations. You've got American and Canadian regulations. So each jurisdiction has got its own rules and regulations. So it's not so much, it is obviously where you're located because you'll be doing business in that location, but it's more about who you do business with. I've got 6. Okay. So Image is asking me a separate question. How do I get slides from the IREX talk and the 10-day AI training? So I'll just stick those links in the chat. You've got about 5 minutes. What key points do you want to get over in 5 minutes, Alex? Well, I just add a couple of links in the chat.
I guess from my side is like loyalty is always evolving, right? So what we found with a lot of our customers is like it's trial and error sometimes. But again, we've got a really great team that knows what they're doing is, and I guess from the other side of the fence is like the acquisition costs this year are just through the roof. A lot of businesses can't afford to acquire new customers. So use, again, it might not be our solution, but really understand where your data is coming from and if it's true, and then really understand how you can drive more value from your customers, because it's a lot cheaper to retain than it is to acquire. And it's quite easier to sort of increase the lifetime value when you sort of reward them for, unique experiences depending on the customer. But always try with loyalty, it's all about building emotion with your customers. So really understand how you're personalizing their journey or comms or whatever it is. And reward them appropriately depending on what you want to achieve. If that's trying to drive more reviews, more referrals, or more social shares, or whatever it is, on getting to engage with a brand. We've got really great stuff around like visual UGC, so the visual user generated content, like with socials, being able to pull their content onto page. It's really good from a brand a customer point of view. When I see my content on the brand that I love and I'm always buying from, so it's like all about sort of engaging that community and sort of creating that unique experience per customer. It all starts from data. Data is king. You need to make sure you've got the right data coming through.
And how soon, I've got my opinion on this, how soon do you think you should start reviews and loyalty schemes? I don't think they're the same time, by the way, but at what point do you think you should be investing in this? Or, or even building a community, as you've just been talking about. But if you think of it in the order of review, maybe in the order of reviews, community, loyalty, what point would you say that you need to invest in each of these?
Yeah, to be fair, it depends on the brand. Like, you've obviously got all these brands that started on social media. You've got people like Represent, Gymshark, in the style. They started from driving, their community through socials, and then they created a business from that. So it depends. If you're like a historical business that have just started on stores or online, you're sort of dabbling. Like, reviews is bread and butter for brand reputation. Like, you want to like, even if they're bad reviews, that's an opportunity to make a customer loyal, because you can resolve that issue for that customer.
Yeah, and I think that has to be from day one, because if you don't invest in that in the first 3 months, your conversion rates will be so rubbish that any marketing you do will be a complete waste of time. And I do think that monitoring your brands, replying, I mean, we get amazing reviews, and that reminds me, I'll put up a review now so we can get a review from everybody in the audience, and basically a thank you to a thank you for Alex for doing this. Please mention his name if you've enjoyed this. So if you want to send us a review, that would be amazing. I mean, there's over 600 now, so I keep on saying about the fact that we need to change these offers. I had a conversation about this week. But yeah, I definitely would recommend that you do that from day one. Building a community, I think, is more difficult, isn't it? Because you have to invest quite a lot in time and effort. Like, I think our webinar is quite a good community, 200 people registering each week. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I guess loyalty is more expensive, and it tends to be the type of product. And once you've almost developed a brand and a reputation, you can start investing in loyalty. But because it's a little bit more expensive, I guess you do that when you're a little bit bigger.
Yeah, well, in regards to like what we offer, loyalty is pretty affordable to get.
Okay.
And you've got experience from the team that know how to do it, and they've seen every possible loyalty scheme. But you need to be really clear on what the output is when you're doing loyalty. Like, what are you trying to achieve from it? Unless you're clear on your strategy, people like ourselves can't help you. So, but we can give advice. Like, we can look. Obviously, most brands are pretty similar with what they're doing. Like, they're most that if it's driving like experience or conversion or whatever, most people have got the same issues, right? But it's about trying to tailor the front end and make it a different experience from your competitors. So I'll give you one example before we finish. Like pharmacies, for example, there's a lot of online pharmacies that sell all the same products. The challenge they have is customers will jump to the next pharmacy when their drops down by £2 or whatever. So how do you keep them on the scheme? Is obviously the point system is like they're getting points, and they've got an invested interest in working with that certain brand, basically. So there's lots of different challenges, but there's also lots of different solutions. But it's just being clear on what you want to achieve at the start, I think.
Okay, final plug for the day. If any of you have left, if you haven't already got your e-commerce tickets for Epic, e-commerce marketing tickets for the Epic conference. They're free for retailers and e-commerce brands. I reckon they're going to sell out by next Friday. I sent out notifications to 140 people yesterday saying they were eligible, and we've only got about 150 tickets to sell. So, and I reckon a third of those have already grabbed their tickets, and I'll send them another reminder on Monday. So if you're interested, you need to apply now. Thank you so much, Alex. Really appreciate it. We'll catch up in a little while. I'll send out the video later, and we'll speak very soon. So thank you very much.
Guys, thank you so much for asking great questions. And if you need anything, I'm sure Sue-Ann will get you.
Oh, put your email in before you go.
Okay, let me do that now.
I should have done that earlier, actually. I put a link to Yotpo, but...
And if anybody wants a mock-up of what reviews and loyalty can look like, let me know, because we're pretty good at doing it.
We should have showed that, but it's not enough time now. So yeah. I'll stop the recording, and we'll see.
I did send an email.
Oh, you probably have to do it with a gap.
Yeah.
I'll just let you type that in. If you read it out as well, just say what you're... So it's alex.wright@yotpo.com.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. You spelt right wrong, by the way, but never mind.
Oh, sorry, it's a H. Apologies.
The guys on the video won't see the chat anyway. So thanks very much, everybody. So see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.